I don't see how anyone could look at my life before my wife and say that now I'm missing anything.
For over a decade, Alaskan Bush People has captivated audiences with its raw showcase of wilderness living and unconventional family practices. The series revolves around the Brown family as they make a wilderness living with seemingly no advanced technology aside from nature. Many have admired this, but few have also speculated that behind the rugged charm and backwoods bravado lies a different reality from what is shown. Now at 32 years old, Noah Brown is finally ready to lift the veil that has kept everyone guessing for years. In a revealing and deeply personal moment, he speaks out about the truths of his life on and off camera, addressing long-standing rumors, production secrets, and the stress of living under constant public scrutiny. For fans who followed the journey from the very beginning, this is the video you've been waiting for, and it might just change everything you thought you knew about the show. Join us as we confirm or correct what some have long suspected. It was 2014, and most viewers had just turned on their TVs to find their favorite shows or search for something new and interesting. They probably hadn't expected to have been hooked, line and sinker, by a new show they'd come to dedicate hours of their lives watching, and in some cases, finances. They were enthralled by the promise of a show seemingly showing the real story of a family enduring the hostile wilderness. The Alaskan Bush People, premiered by the Discovery Channel, followed the story of the Browns, headed by patriarch Billy Brown, as they depicted what a tribe who had left modern society to feed and thrive off nature and the wilderness would look like. The show especially captivated audiences since its debut because it offered a unique look into the lives of real survivalists while providing an escape for those who dared to dream but couldn't act on the same impulse. As time passed, holes started to appear in this meticulously constructed story, and many started to wonder if Alaskan Bush People was ever real, or just a TV fiction. Alaskan Bush People promised a new way of life, which was a major selling point. At a time when many people were fantasizing about becoming completely self-sufficient due to the overwhelming influence of technology and a growing disconnection from nature, the Browns stood as an inspiration. Viewers who yearned for a simpler time related to the concept that a whole family could make it without the comforts of modern life. On a deeper level, though, the show's appeal was about family, not merely survival. The Alaskan Bush People offered a different take on wilderness programming, one that followed a big family as they not only survived, but thrived in the face of a harsh environment. Despite the Browns' eccentricities and hardships, the audience felt invested in their trip through the friendships they formed. Some people started to doubt the show as its popularity grew. Inconsistencies began to emerge, casting doubt on the Browns' portrayal as solitary homesteaders who had spent decades in the woods. Expert Alaskan viewers noticed that the family frequently appeared in places that weren't exactly in the middle of nowhere. Rumors were circulating that the Browns actually possessed conventional houses or had access to modern amenities that they never used in the show. This led to some thinking that Alaskan Bush People was more of a reality show than anything else. The Browns were cast as realistic family members who were willing to play the role for television rather than as actual off-grid survivalists, according to several industry insiders. The show's popularity kept rising despite these concerns. The story was fascinating, regardless of whether or not the Browns' way of living was true. The support of the network was also crucial to the show's success. Popular survival shows like Survivorman and Naked and Afraid, as well as blue-collar jobs like Deadliest Catch and Gold Rush, were created by Discovery Channel in the past. They were masters at making regular individuals into interesting TV personalities. Using the Browns as a prime illustration of extreme self-sufficiency, Discovery reaffirmed its approach to Alaskan Bush People. By now, the show's popularity is clear, but how exactly did they blur the lines between reality and reality TV? Strategies. The success of Alaskan Bush People can be attributed to a variety of factors, but sound design is one of the unsung heroes behind its immersive appeal. It might be a bit confusing, but stick around as we explain how. The strategic use of soundscapes and audio techniques played a crucial role in immersing viewers in the isolated and rugged world of the Browns, adding acoustic depths to their emotional journey and enhancing the drama that unfolds. The show was not just about the breathtaking visuals of the wilderness, but also about transporting viewers to that environment through sound. The sound design team meticulously captured the natural sounds of Alaska, ranging from the howling winds to the chirping of distant birds or the rustling of trees. These ambient noises created an immersive backdrop that made the audience feel as if they were standing right beside the Browns, experiencing the wilderness alongside them. By integrating these various environmental sounds with carefully placed effects, the show achieved a sense of realism that drew viewers in. When the Browns trekked through thick forests or faced harsh storms, the sounds enhanced the intensity and realism of those moments. The authenticity of these natural sounds not only reinforces the show's theme of survival, but also helps to convey the vastness and isolation of the Alaskan landscape, which is a key aspect of the family's struggle. While Alaskan Bush People often showcase the quiet, serene aspects of life in the wilderness, it also thrives on the occasional shots of drama and tension. Whether it's a dangerous animal encounter, a harrowing storm, or a family crisis, sound engineers are ready to design the perfect sounds to amplify these moments. For example, the subtle crackling of a campfire, the growl of a distant bear, or the rush of a river during a tense scene served to heighten the drama, making these situations feel more immediate and intense. The soundscapes aren't just about filling the background with noise. They are a tool to emphasize the emotional weight of the scenes. In many cases, the absence of sound was just as powerful. Silence or the fading of background noise can underline moments of contemplation, fear, or uncertainty, creating a tension that pulls the audience in even further. This naturally came with its own set of difficulties. Filming in the remote Alaskan wilderness presented a unique challenge, not only in terms of visual production, but also in capturing clean, high-quality sound. The weather can be unpredictable, with strong winds, heavy rain, and snow, making it difficult to record clear audio. Additionally, the rugged terrain and lack of electricity in some of the shooting locations mean that sound engineers must rely on specialized equipment, such as windproof microphones and solar-powered gear, to record high-quality sound. The technical challenges also extend to balancing the natural sounds of the wilderness with the dialogue and storytelling. Capturing the Browns' conversations clearly without losing the rich environmental sounds that make the show unique is no small feat. This was where post-production sound editing played a crucial role, with sound engineers carefully tweaking levels, removing unwanted noise, and enhancing the final mix to ensure that every scene remains as immersive and impactful as possible. As the series progressed through its seasons, the sound design also evolved to keep up with the growing complexity of the show. Early episodes focused largely on the Browns' isolated lifestyle in the wilderness, with sound design emphasizing the serenity and solitude of their environment. However, as the show's storylines expanded to include interactions with nearby communities and more personal family dynamics, the sound design adapted accordingly. In later seasons, the team integrated more dynamic soundscapes, to reflect the increased complexity of the show. The introduction of more human-made sounds, such as vehicles, construction noise, and machinery, contrasted with the natural elements, creating a richer audio experience. The evolution mirrored the changes in the family's lifestyle as they expanded beyond their initial homesteading efforts to a more integrated life in the Alaskan wilderness. With such immersion brought to play, it was no surprise fans got invested, but when the cracks in the show's portrayal got so big, it couldn't be ignored. Cracks! For a family that claimed to live solely off the land, with minimal to no modern-day amenities, the Browns were strangely well-groomed. Surprisingly easy-to-obtain gear suddenly showed up in their possession on multiple occasions. Every dramatic obstacle they faced, like constructing a new house or finding food, seemed to have been orchestrated to fit within the show's production timeline. The internet started to look into the claims that the Browns weren't actually living the nomadic lifestyle full-time. The truths of their history and the reality of their financial problems were both called into question in online forums and investigative articles. As time went on, it became increasingly clear that Alaskan Bush People was nothing more than a meticulously staged illusion. Still, even though it was getting increasingly obvious that the Alaskan Bush People weren't real, viewers persisted in tuning in despite their suspicions. People had been following the kids' journeys, ups and downs, for years before they started to question everything. Fans still cared about the Browns as individuals, regardless of how genuine the lifestyle appeared. The boundaries between reality and entertainment have been increasingly blurred by reality TV. Fans of Alaskan Bush People were prepared to suspend disbelief for the sake of the story, even if they knew the characters would be over the top. The real problems came when Noah Brown's admissions revealed the family's hidden internal strife. As they faced the difficulties of their bush life, the Browns portrayed a united front on screen, but behind the scenes, power battles and feuds were simmering, and the public would ultimately learn about them. In the process of this, fans and critics alike confirmed one thing above all else: it was all staged. With allegations that patriarch Billy Brown tightly controlled the show's earnings, Noah has hinted at financial problems that separated the family. The Browns were reportedly making six figures, dispelling the long-held belief among fans that the family was living hand-to-mouth. Over the years, viewers and online forums have repeatedly questioned the family's spending habits and the authenticity of their off-grid lifestyle. For example, fans noted episodes where the family purchased expensive items such as a large boat, specialized construction equipment, and even RVs, choices that seemed the opposite image of a family trying to be frugal. The fact that the Browns have also been spotted living in or near towns and cities, particularly after relocating to Washington, only added fuel to the fire. These sightings, paired with purchases seen on the show, left many viewers feeling misled. On platforms like Reddit, longtime viewers also expressed frustration, saying, "They talk about being broke, but then they're spending tens of thousands on machinery and boats. It's hard to take their financial struggles seriously." Many were outraged by this revelation and wondered how a wealthy family could pretend to be poor. One Facebook commenter even said, "I contributed financially to their struggles." This showed that many were more than just emotionally invested. They had also contributed financially based on the belief that the family were struggling and in need of assistance. Despite the show's pitch as a small-town survival story with a focus on one family, the Browns found themselves in the middle of a worldwide sensation. Reportedly, tensions were hot behind the scenes as a result of some siblings' struggles. Fans are analyzing previous episodes in search of answers, spurred on by Noah's allegations of furious disputes among family members. In hindsight, The strain is plain to perceive. In a YouTube dissection video, a viewer speculated, "The way some of them interact, it's obvious something was off." And they were proven right. The first major public crack in the Browns' financial claims came in 2015 when Billy Brown and several of his children were charged with multiple counts of first-degree unsworn falsification and theft. The charges came from the family's application for Alaska's Permanent Fund, a program that gives yearly dividends to qualifying residents. The Browns had allegedly claimed to live in Alaska from 2011 to 2013 to collect the dividend checks, despite living outside the state for extended periods during that time. As a result, Billy and his son Joshua Brown eventually accepted a plea deal that included a 30-day sentence served electronically and community service. They were also ordered to repay the state for the funds improperly received. The incident damaged the family's reputation and raised other questions about how much of their portrayed bush life was real and how much was crafted for the cameras. For many viewers, the idea of the family living entirely off the land was hard to combine with the revelation that they had been applying for state aid under questionable pretenses. Matters only worsened when the family's patriarch, Billy Brown, passed away in February 2021 following a seizure. Further details about the family's true financial state emerged through probate filings. His estate was reportedly saddled with approximately $27,000 in medical debt. This was an amount that was not astronomical by some standards, but hinted at cash flow issues that contradicted the perception of a television-famous family with a lucrative show. Adding to the strain, it was revealed that the Brown family business, Alaskan Wilderness Brown Entertainment, was involved in a lawsuit reportedly seeking up to $500,000. Though the specifics of the legal dispute were not made fully public, court documents confirmed that financial challenges persisted even during the later years of the show, when its ratings remained relatively strong. Financial cracks and revelations weren't all that have been revealed, as interpersonal relationships have also shown and faced major strain. In December 2024, a major rift within the Brown family came out into the public, when Noah Brown filed for a restraining order against his younger sister, Rain Brown. In legal documents, Noah and his then-wife, Rain, alleged that Rain had exhibited threatening behavior as she struggled with drug abuse and posed a potential danger to their family. According to the filings, Noah claimed that she had sent alarming messages and made threats that led him to fear for his safety and that of his children. The most severe allegations suggested that Rain had threatened to kill him, an explosive revelation that completely wrecked the image of unity the Browns had typically displayed in public. Though the court ultimately denied the restraining order request due to insufficient evidence, the incident brought the family's behind-the-scenes reality into the spotlight. Rain Brown, who's often known as the spirited youngest sibling to fans, did not respond publicly to the accusations. Barely 2 months after the restraining order incident, Noah and Rain Brown announced their separation after 6 years of marriage. Their relationship had always been somewhat contentious among fans, with some viewers accusing Rain of creating distance between Noah and the rest of the family. These claims were amplified by earlier incidents, including a now infamous 2019 feuds where Rain reportedly accused Rain of copying her name and attempting to replace her in the family. In their statement, Noah and Rain blamed differences in personal growth and life paths as reasons for their split, choosing to opt for a peaceful co-parenting while jointly protecting their children's well-being. Noah moved into a nearby guest cabin, while Rain remained in the main family home with their 2 sons. The couple's attempts to remain amicable appeared genuine, but the timing of the separation, so soon after the legal dispute with Rain, only fueled more speculations about deeper, unresolved family issues. It's important to understand that the Browns' internal strife didn't just begin with the recent restraining order request. Rumors of tension within the family have circulated for years, with periodic stories of estrangement, jealousy, and clashing personalities surfacing in tabloid media. Moreover, some fans noticed that Noah, who had once been a central character in earlier seasons, started appearing less and less in later episodes. This absence fueled speculation that he had grown more distant from the rest of the Browns, possibly due to marital tensions or ongoing disagreements with his siblings. Fans of Alaskan Bush People have responded with mixed emotions to the recent revelations. Some expressed concern for the well-being of the family, especially for Rain, whose mental health has been a topic of concern in the past. With Noah seemingly taking the center stage of these disputes, what are the reactions of the others in the family? The Brown family may be the most affected by the shocking revelations, which are resonating among Alaskan Bush People fans. Others in the family have chosen to stay quiet or have gently responded to Noah's statements regarding their internal struggles. Due to this, many viewers are confused. Is Noah revealing the truth, or is he just another Brown clan outcast? People are analyzing Noah's intentions on social media, with some praising his honesty, while others are accusing him of betrayal. A Reddit member remarked, "At last, Noah is confirming our worst suspicions," while another argued, "He's just bitter and trying to cash in on controversy." Many viewers are dubious about his readiness to discuss private family matters, wondering why he didn't speak up when the show was airing. Some, meanwhile, saw him as a courageous whistleblower who exposed the truth behind a carefully orchestrated story. The family's enigmatic social media messages also imply an implicit conflict, even though no one has directly condemned Noah. Bear Brown posted with the caption, "Family is everything," and this was taken by many to be a subtle dig against Noah. Rain Brown, who is knee-deep in the controversial incidents, also posted a snapshot of herself thinking deeply and captioned it, "Silence is sometimes the loudest response." Speculation has been fueled by these cryptic messages as fans debate whether the family is secretly gathering against Noah. The Brown family was portrayed on the show as an inseparable bond, united by their devotion to the great outdoors. The discoveries made by Noah, however, have shattered that image and shown an estranged family struggling with the pressures of celebrity, wealth, and individual ambition. Fans are divided over whether Noah is trying to break up relations with some relatives or if his confessions are part of a bigger scheme to find new success beyond the Alaskan Bush People. Whatever the family's position may be, one thing is obvious. The schisms inside the Brown family have grown too wide to overlook. There may be no turning back now that Noah has changed how the public views the Brown clan, regardless of whether he is truthful or not. Fans are curious about what will happen next, now that Noah Brown has revealed more about Alaskan Bush People. Is Noah going to continue spilling the beans about the show's secrets, or is he going to feel pressured to keep silent, maybe even from his own family? Noah has been evasive about his future actions, leading to much speculation. Although he hasn't done a complete tell-all interview just yet, his online remarks and official court clues indicate that he might not be done revealing the hidden truth just yet. He may be thinking of getting a book deal or starting a documentary to tell his story in full, according to several of his supporters. Some believe he would seek total anonymity, preferring a life away from reality TV and the limelight. As for the remainder of the Brown family, they have mostly stayed out of Noah's claims. Some have been publishing stuff on social media as usual, while others have offered messages of family devotion and determination. The lack of communication has only served to heighten rumors that there are growing tensions behind closed doors. Additionally, the subject of Alaskan Bush People arises. The show's initial allure has already begun to wane, and some viewers have speculated that Discovery Channel may rebrand the show or move the spotlight to other relatives. The Discovery Channel has yet to make an official statement regarding the impact of these family issues on the future of the series. What we do know is that there are other shows that have had similar issues, and we can perhaps take cues from there. Similar show and possible outcome. One show whose situation bears great similarities with what the Browns are facing is American Chopper. The show followed the Tootle family, composed of Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. as they built custom motorcycles at Orange County Choppers in New York. Much like the Browns, the Tootles became household names, celebrated for their larger-than-life personalities and their gritty, blue-collar work ethic. The father-son dynamic was at the heart of the show, but it also became the very thing that tore it apart. Over time, American Chopper devolved into a reality TV battleground where heated arguments between Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. became the norm and dominated screen time. The arguments became so bad that it actually eclipsed the show's fundamentals, the motorcycles themselves. What began as creative tension escalated into full-blown lawsuits, with Paul Sr. suing his son over business shares and control of the company. Eventually, Paul Jr. left to start his own shop, and the rift became irreparable, something we can all observe to be happening in the Brown clan today. Like Alaskan Bush People, American Chopper was also increasingly criticized for staging drama. Fans and industry insiders pointed out that many of the explosive confrontations seemed exaggerated or scripted to drive ratings. As with the Browns' suspiciously timed purchases and contrived remote living, American Chopper lost credibility the more it leaned into sensationalism over substance. By the time the show was canceled, much of its original audience had grown tired of the constant drama and what they felt was a departure from authenticity. Not even a brief revival was feasible, as the audiences were just completely fed up. The core attraction of the show, which was its talent and the image of a family working in tandem, had faded and given way to public spectacle and dysfunction. Both families have suffered significant financial backlash. The Tootles, despite their TV fame, ended up mired in legal disputes and financial disarray. Paul Sr. eventually filed for bankruptcy in 2018, citing over $1 million in debt, including unpaid taxes and mortgages. Similarly, after Billy Brown's death, his estate was found to have medical debts and pending lawsuits, and the family's business ventures have come under scrutiny for potential misrepresentation. The two shows serve as a prime example of the double-edged sword of reality TV. What starts as a genuine story can quickly become a brand, and when that brand overshadows the people behind it, cracks begin to show. In both cases, the families were transformed into characters expected to act, react, and entertain, until the pressures of fame, financial inconsistency, and internal conflict led to collapse. As Discovery Channel moves forward with new content, some speculate that the recent turmoil may either bring the show to a close or lead to a reformatting that focuses more on individual journeys rather than the collective family experience. Noah's separation from Rain and his estrangement from certain siblings pose real logistical challenges for filming, especially if the family is no longer living together in a central location. Additionally, with legal issues and personal disputes now public knowledge, the show faces the delicate task of either addressing the controversy head-on or sidestepping it entirely. Some worry that viewers may get disinterested after learning the truth, but scandals have a history of becoming ratings gold for reality TV. Some viewers have speculated that the Browns would take advantage of the situation by airing a dramatic TV special in which they address Noah's accusations, or by incorporating the family feud into an upcoming season. Their reaction, whether they resist or turn a blind eye to the drama, can decide the fate of the play. When it comes to Noah, opinions among fans are still divided. Opinions on him vary greatly, as some consider him a courageous whistleblower revealing the truth, while others see him as a resentful former celebrity with a grudge. In any case, the story of the Alaskan Bush People will never be the same because of his choice to break the mystery. Many viewers are beginning to doubt that the once beloved story of a close-knit family living in the forest was ever based on reality. With all these mysteries and mounting tensions, one thing is clear: the Brown family's journey is far from over. Fans will be on the edge of their seats, anticipating the next revelation, so long as Noah keeps dropping hints about further mysteries. Fans and critics alike reacted quickly and passionately when word of Noah Brown's confession circulated via entertainment news sites and social media. Fans of the reality show are now split down the middle, between those who felt betrayed and those who suspected wrongdoing from the start, along with fence-sitters who just liked watching the drama unfold. Many loyal viewers found Noah's confessions to be extremely distressing. These were the believers in the Brown family's untamed autonomy and dedication to living off the grid, who had been following their story from the start. Some viewers had been influenced to seek out simpler lifestyles in the bush by the show, but now they wonder if they had been influenced by something fictional. Disillusioned fans' reactions poured into social media. Several viewers expressed their deep disappointment with the show in detailed online writings, describing it as a breach of trust. Even while they had always suspected some degree of exaggeration, some others voiced their dismay nonetheless. Some people weren't surprised, as in the eyes of many longtime Alaskan Bush People skeptics, Noah's confessions proved their worst suspicions. Critics have pointed out that, despite the family's on-screen assertions of wilderness survival, they have been seen in public before living in ordinary houses, driving contemporary cars, and even shopping at food shops. Reality TV debunking channels on YouTube wasted no time capitalizing on the scandal. Titles such as "We Told You Alaskan Bush People Was Fake" and "The Truth Behind the Brown Family's Alaska Myth" attracted hundreds of millions of views in videos. Whatever the eventual outcome of the show, the revelations have captured the attention of both fans and critics alike. And it remains to be seen what the Browns and Discovery Channel truly have in store for the screen. What do you think of Noah's revelations and the family's dynamics? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. To enjoy more exciting videos, click play on the video on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new video drops.